Okay, so Batman issue 17 ended this week. Okay, so I guess that means it's time for another Comics Are Strange segment. Sure. So I just finished reading Batman issue 17, and I have to say I wasn't disappointed. In fact, it almost makes up for the fact that 16 was such a bomb. Almost. But with this being said, this issue wasn't really perfect. And at least not perfect in the sense that I would say it's perfect. Oh, just to warn you, beyond this point there will be spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers and want to come into this book fresh-minded and unaware of what's going to happen, you're going to want to turn away from this episode now. It starts off with Batman waking up and realize that he's tied to this chair. In front of this chair is a dinner table, and sitting at the dinner table is the rest of the family members aside from Alfred. We'll get to that in a moment. We find out that the family members have been gagged and put a bag over their head. The Joker shows up, takes the bags off, and it shows that their face is all bandaged. This is the part where I kind of started to lose my shit. After this, he then brings Alfred up, who's been Joker gassed, unfortunately, which was kind of anticlimactic and also was not what I was hoping for. He lifts the lids off the dinner plates, and there's this bucket of ice with a face in it. Mainly each face of the family members. Okay, at this point, I'm really starting to freak out, and I'm looking for a corner to go hide and cry in. Mainly because a lot of these characters I grew up with as a child, and, well, that kind of scared me. I mean, this comic book is the first book to have scared me in quite a long time. Anywho, after that, the Batman gets up and rips all the cords out, which was explained earlier, that there are all these buckets of gasoline hanging around, which will light everyone on fire if he moves, which kind of sucks. Then, right as everyone lights on fire, Batman reveals that there's actually been a tub of water above the ceiling this entire time, breaks the ceiling open, and the water comes flooding down. The Joker runs off, Batman goes and chases him, but not before undoing the bandages on Damian's face. It's later revealed that Damian is okay, along with the rest of the family, and that the faces were all just a ruse. They never exactly explain how they have exact replica faces in the buckets of ice, which I think would have been an interesting tidbit to include in the comics, but I can understand why DC didn't want to overthink this thing, and to be honest, this storyline has been running a bit longer than what I think it should have. The Batman chases after the Joker, and they proceed to brawl it out, with Batman telling the Joker that he knows who he is and who his family is and where he comes from. The Joker doesn't want to believe him. They proceed to fight even more. The Joker almost falls off an edge of a cliff. Batman grabs him, and then it's not really explained what happens, whether Batman's grip slips or he purposely lets him go, but the end of that sequence is followed by a picture of the Joker's face flying off of his head, and yeah, ew. Meanwhile, while this is happening, the family is getting gassed and doing their best to fight it, while Alfred is also trying to fight it within himself. At the end, it shows up that Alfred and the rest of the family is okay, or well, as okay as they're going to be, with Alfred being bedridden and Bruce Wayne actually taking care of him. I think in one point of the comic, Alfred actually tells Bruce to go fuck off, but doesn't really come out as that. As more of a, well, thanks for taking care of me, but I still disapprove of this whole thing. Afterwards, this family meeting that was supposed to happen turns out doesn't happen, mainly because the rest of the family decides that they're going to blow off Batman. Tim's the first one to do it, which is kind of unexpected, by phoning Bruce and saying, hey, something came up and I can't make it, and then proceeding to just listen to music in his bedroom. Okay. Barbara says something along a similar line and tells Bruce that something's come up, and can't make it while she's just sitting in front of the fireplace drinking tea. Jason Todd doesn't even bother to call Batman and just flips him off, pretty much. Damian leaves a note for his father, saying that he's going to be at the gym, or bunker, or whatever. In fact, Dick's the only one that shows up, which is kind of sad in a way, and in another way I can actually kind of respect Dick Grayson as a character now. I mean, okay, I know he's been always seen as one of the coolest Robins out of all of them, but I don't know, just after I turned 8, I didn't really care all that much for him anymore, mainly because, okay, you have to remember with his original run as Robin, it was from the 40s to the late 60s, early 70s, which means back in those times, kids were expected to act a lot different. And reading his original run, I didn't really have that much respect for him after I turned 8 years old, because I woke up and realized that the real world isn't like that anymore. Now that scene especially is kind of sad, mainly because, well, Dick Grayson actually shows up. Yeah, he calls Batman outside his house so that he can ask Bruce to let him in, but Bruce just replies to him, "It's okay, Dick, I know, don't worry about it," and he goes and drives off, which was kind of confusing, actually. Overall, this story's really good, and I have respect for it, unlike Red Hood issue 16, but it just feels like there's something missing. I mean, they go through all the trouble to set up this great big storyline, and really nothing happens. I mean, okay, yeah, none of the family members aside from Dick are speaking to Bruce right now, so there's that, but at the same time, nothing permanent really happens, because chances are, within the next few months, the rest of the family's going to forgive Bruce again because, well, he's Batman, and they're going to be, "Oh, it's okay, Bruce, we forgive you and understand everything that you did," which I don't, but okay. In all honesty, this story was really good, but also kind of disappointing. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, I really did, but there's just something missing. I mean, in all honesty, to a certain extent, I was kind of hoping that it was pieces of Alfred's body underneath those plate covers. Oh, wait, hold up. Okay, I see you going for the clothes or the back button. Just hear me out, okay? If they had done that, that would have been something completely different and very new for Batman. Well, okay, not very new considering that one of Batman's family members has died in the past, and they actually make a joke about that in this issue, which seemed kind of rude, but at the same time, also kind of funny. Maybe I should go seek some professional help. Anyways, it doesn't really dawn on you until after you finish reading it that this was kind of a misfire. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I said before, the issue was still good. It's just, there was so much more they could have done with it. Okay, yeah, I don't want to see Alfred get killed either, but remember the storyline for Death of the Family? Yeah, people still remember that, and it's been about 30 years now. That's pretty damn good. I mean, people are going to remember that story until the day comic books stop being made. And even then, people will probably still remember that story. In all honesty, though, this one, they set it up to be A Death of the Family, but they just don't deliver on it. And in all honesty, it kind of felt like DC putting their foot in the pool, but not going in. However, nothing that I can say to tell people not to buy this one. It is a really good story, and it will keep you guessing until the very last page. With that being said, I'm going to leave you now and go on to edit this episode. Catch you guys later.